Welcome to the Fasting Focused Lifestyle Podcast, where each week I will be discussing all things fasting and how it can become the most valuable tool in your personal toolkit so that you can live a long, healthy, and meaningful life. I'm your host, Vicki Sharon, and thank you for joining me. Hey there, welcome. This is episode 2. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for checking out my channel, and hopefully you're ready with some pen, paper, take some notes. Might need to also grab a tissue. I apologize beforehand. Maybe not. I often get emotional, as you can very well assume by now. So here we go. So in starting a fast with being completely new to the journey, not knowing anything about fasting, you want to dive right in. You want to just do it all. You want to do everything all at once. I'm going to tell you whoop, pump the brakes. Let's slow your roll. We got to, before you start erecting those walls of your fasting house that you're going to be living in, we got to have that foundation. And to me, this foundation is built on 3 very, very important components that are going to help keep you on this journey for the entire duration. And also, honestly, for the rest of your life, you're going to be able to utilize these. So the first one is going to be to know your purpose, your why. Your second is going to be to know your path, which is going to be your what, your method. Your third one is going to be to know your passion, your gusto, your sauce, your magic mojo that's going to keep you on this journey, your accountability, your happiness, all that stuff. I'm going to go into each of those a little bit more in detail here. So before starting a fast, I feel it's super essential. Like I mentioned, you've got to have that base. You got to know, obviously, about what you're going to be doing. But the first one that is going to really set the stage for you is to have your reason why you're doing this. You can't just go into this lifestyle blindly or just for a reason that doesn't have a lot of heaviness, meaning. Your why has got to bring you to tears, and it may be something that makes you uncomfortable. It's got to be something that makes you uncomfortable. It's got to be something life-altering, monumental. It's got to be fucking massive. It's got to be huge as that boulder that almost crushes Indiana Jones in Disney World, in that little production that they have there at the parks there. It's got to be massive. I knew when I started my journey on August 9th, 2018, that I saw what I saw in the mirror that morning when I woke up at almost 400 pounds. I knew I was eating myself to death. I knew what my future looked like if I allowed myself to perpetuate and stay in that negative headspace where I played the victim and, oh my gosh, life is so hard because I'm so big and overweight and I'm always going to be stuck like this. I've always been this size. I was a big girl in high school. I was big throughout college, and it's just who I am. This is never going to change. I got to a point where, for me, I was sick of that. I was sick of that just being oh, yep, it is what that is. There's nothing I can do about it. Or, I'm sure we hear that so much on a day-to-day basis. There's nothing I can do about it. There's absolutely something you can do about it when it comes to you and your life, your body. I always tell people, your body is like a multi-million-dollar house that you get to live in. And if you want it to last with anything that you buy and spend money on, it's not going to last if you don't take care of it. Your health will go away if you ignore it. And that's what I was doing. I was ignoring my health and giving into those hormonal pangs, those urges, those triggers. I was letting my hormones run the show, as they do run the show, but you can have that conscious mind and awareness with control over your actions, your mindset, what you do, your steps in your day-to-day life that can be in a more positive light than to allow yourself to just give into that perpetuative oh God, I can't speak today, to give into that perpetuating negativity and playing the victim and feeling like you're stuck. Having that reason why to pull yourself out of feeling stuck. It needs to happen. You've got to have a reason, whether it's to be around your family, your friends, your kids, to be a better person to, your society, your community. Like I mentioned, my why, I knew I wanted to not die. It's basically what it came down to. I knew that I was eating myself to death. It sucks. And that's all I knew. And I am very, very glad that I allowed myself to use this negativity and to twist it and alter it into a form of fuel and not let it be something to hold me back. And by no means did this come super easy or just like, oh, it was nothing. Man, this is something that I still work on to this day, because we all have feelings of like, our instinct is to always go to the negative instead of the positive optimist kind of mentality. We see the realistic, like, oh, that'll never work, or, oh, I can never do this. It's so easy to just go to the negative choice than to see, well, maybe if I at least try and just keep trying, I'll at least start to make progress in that direction. That's what we have to get comfortable with. And it's going to be uncomfortable at first. It's going to be very uncomfortable as we start to make this shift in our habits, in our mindset. Because that's what this whole thing is. It's a mindset shift is what it's going to start off as. So your monumental, life-altering, heavy, fucking heavy, so heavy reason why. You've got to have it, write it down, keep it visible. Keep it somewhere that you are going to remind yourself of it on a regular daily basis, because you need to. You absolutely need to keep yourself. That's going to be like your compass to show you, right? Along with these other things that I'm going to cover here in a minute. Number 1, reason why. Your purpose. Number 2 is going to be your path. What method are you going to do? Are you going to start with just basic low-level fasting? Or maybe you've done fasting before, but did it where you're like, oh man, I don't know what I'm fucking doing. I saw a video on YouTube and didn't research or didn't do anything. Or I saw this crazy Vicky lady and then was like, woo, wanted to go and do my own thing. I'm telling you, you're going to be so much more successful if you just learn a little bit about what you're doing. And I'm not saying you have to go like super way down deep into the matrix rabbit hole like I'm doing with getting my degree and certification and all this stuff to help people on a very massive social kind of scale here. But you got to at least know what's going on. This is your body. You have to be so freaking invested into this journey, because this is your life. This is your journey, your path. And I'm telling you, when you know what's going on in your body, when something happens like, oh, I'm feeling nauseous, or oh, why am I so tired? Why am I feeling a little bit lightheaded or dizzy right now? If you read up at least just the basics as you go, as you grow and progress, it's going to make the journey so much easier for you. It's going to be easier to stay on. It's going to be easier to grow, change, and adapt. It's going to be easier to stay on the journey long term. Things just get so much easier when you just make yourself aware of how this process is changing your body dynamic from the inside out. And it's so fucking beautiful, y'all. Like, it's such a magnificent process that our bodies are able to do with this lifestyle. How we think, oh, we have to just eat less, but we're still eating breakfast and then a little breakfast and then a little snack before lunch. And then, oh, we have to have lunch. And then, oh, a little snack after lunch and then dinner. But, oh, we got to have that dessert. Fuck. Like, stop it. Stop it. Looking into how fasting works, you're giving your body a break from eating. Your body has 2 sources of fuel, either the food you put in your stomach or the stored body energy, the body fat on our body. So when we're not eating for that extended period of time, as we build up to the ability to do longer fasts, Our body knows, hey, she's got stored fat on those hips, on those thighs, she's got a little curve right here. If you allow your body to say, oh, we're going to tap the fuel tank here and we're going to let that, deplete its stores, its food stores. And hey, body, you still got fuel here. You can still keep going and doing those daily operations of pumping the blood, getting the blood pumping, lungs breathing, all that good stuff that needs to happen on a day-to-day basis. Your body knows how to utilize your fat stores for energy. Allow your body to do that. Stop the eating 1,000 times a day. It's unnecessary. That's a little tangent for you. Sorry about that. Not really. Maybe. Knowing your path, super, super important. That path is going to evolve and change over time. Having that understanding, patience with yourself, with the methods, with the journey, and knowing that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to realize like, oh, I didn't know this feeling sensation of like lightheadedness. I can have, some salt water. I can have something like a little bit of avocado to break my fast or whatever. The more you educate yourself on this journey, I'm telling you, the easier it's going to be to stay on this long term. I've seen it. I live it. I know it. Woo! The third one, I'm getting like lost in the sauce here. I love this. I hope you're enjoying this too. I am. So the third, like really strong pillar of this like epic tripod of fasting mentality that I feel is essential to know is you got to have the zest, the passion. And this is going to go in addition to like obviously your purpose and your path that we just talked about. But there's got to be some component of your life that you are able to utilize, tap at, visit on a daily, maybe every other day, to where you're going to continue and find happiness in your journey. And I feel like if you are able to find an open-minded sense of happiness, pleasure, enjoyment out of this journey, not only is it going to be fun, you're going to find those elements of fun. It reminds me of like, if you've ever seen Mary Poppins where she's in with the kids in the nursery and the kids are like, oh man, we want to go to, what is it? They want to go to the park to see Bert with the chalk drawings and stuff. And Mary's like, you guys, this room is trash. Like your fucking dollhouse is everywhere. Get this mess cleaned up. So what does she do? She has them, her little mantra that she says, what does she say? In every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. Find the fun and step. The job's a game. Or like something like that. I feel like I hear her voice in my mind. So having something to look forward to every single day, whether it's something silly, something small, a non-scale victory that you're working towards, having that element of excitement, happiness, joy within the mundane shit that you're working on, in addition to fasting, whether it may be like professional, your career, family, whatever, having that element of fun and enjoyment is going to make this easier to stick to. It's going to make time fly by. I honestly, in this moment where I'm at right now, I think, oh my God, I'm approaching almost 3 years that I've been doing this, that I started. Like time goes by when you're having fun. And this is what I feel like this has been. This has been enjoyable. And I can't say that for every other weight loss method that's out there, or like, self-help development kind of journeys that are out there. They're not always fun, but you can find an element within each method, specifically now that we're dealing with fasting, within this lifestyle of fasting, you can find an element, I guarantee you. And if you're having trouble, reach out and I'll connect with you and figure out what the element of enjoyment and fun. There's got to be an element of fun to this because you're going to see that those days that you've had that fun, you've seen that this process is an enjoyable one. This is still your life. It's like, don't rush or say, I can't wait to lose this weight. I can't wait to lose this weight. Oh, someday. If you don't take those small, active, enjoyable, self-loving steps each day, then what are you doing it for? Like, you've got to enjoy the life you lead, that you're making small steps, small, big, doesn't matter. They can change on the daily. Those steps towards that bigger goal, you're going to be able to look back like I do very often and realize, wow, look at how far I've come. And I can see and remember the enjoyable moments, memorable moments all along the way. And man, those non-scale victories, those scale victories, as we reach them, maybe you're fitting into a smaller pant size and you're like, yeah, write them down, have a board or something somewhere where you can just be like, yeah, I crushed this goal. Or like, if your weight loss goal is huge, break it into smaller chunks and be like, yeah, I had 3 pound loss this week. I'm going for 5 next week, or whatever works, in your journey, if you've got more or less that you're working towards on a regular, basis. When you are able to see that you are making progress, it's going to stack on the happiness that you feel with your journey. And it's just, stack, clunk, clunk, clunk. And before you know it, like, this is a breeze. You don't feel like this is hard and it's, oh my gosh, this is never going to happen. And oh, why is this taking so long? Stop that kind of thinking. Don't compare yourself. Pull yourself out of that negative headspace. Even for a few minutes, practice that mindful, meditative, highly recommend, like, just being present and just realizing that I am making little steps. Those little steps are going to add up over time. And I love telling people this. Time is going to pass, whether we take action towards our goals or not. But, like I mentioned before, while we are making those steps, we have to be present. You've got to be present. You have to enjoy these moments. Find that happiness. Allow that to add on to the fuel that you've got within, that grit, that tenacity to stay this path. Those 3 things stacked together, your why, your what, and your how. I feel myself getting worked up right now. But I'm telling you, this journey will absolutely change your life. Doesn't matter how much weight you're trying to lose or what you're trying to achieve for yourself. Or, yes, I've lost over 200 pounds, but you can have the same experience losing. If you need to lose 30, 40, 50 pounds, you can still have the same experience. This is life-changing, absolutely life-changing. And it's a complete and total mindset shift. You have to have that strong, solid, propelling, fuel-filled why. Why are you doing this? Write it down. Put it somewhere that you're going to see every single day. 2, know your path. Know what method you're starting with. Remember, that method can grow and change with you. You're not going to be the same person a week, a month into this journey. I very quickly realized after 2 weeks, I had found the magic sauce with fasting. After doing just a 16-8, which is you're fasting for 16 hours and your eating window is 8 hours. 2 weeks of doing that, I lost 21 pounds. And that was how I knew my life would never be the same. Super important to educate yourself on your method. That method is definitely going to change as you grow or shrink. Shrink, we definitely, right? That's what we like. Ooh, shrinking. And 3, know your passion, your why. What is not your why, your how. What is going to be something that you can always tether yourself to that is going to continue to bring you joy, to where you're going to stay on this path, keep yourself accountable, provide you with that motivational consistency, personal integrity, accountability within yourself. So I feel that what to why to how, all that shit's going to add up together and you're going to be so successful. So successful. I'm absolutely certain of that. If you have any questions or you are needing help yourself with any of these components of what I feel are most essential on a fast to get started with before you even start to know what your method is, please reach out to me. My website is thefastingfocusedlifestyle.com. And I've got links on there to my social media channels. You can reach out to me and I will definitely reach back out to you. I do provide coaching and consulting services. All the details are provided on my website. If you have any questions about anything, any suggestions for future podcast episodes, please let me know. I will be covering a lot and have a list I'm quite excited to continue to cover bit by bit. Or you, or if someone you know would like to be a guest on my show, I would love to have you. I want to brag on, support, bring together this community that continues to grow on a regular basis around fasting and just the fasting lifestyle of knowing that this is a tool, not a diet, not something we should dread. It's not a negative, just a sense of suffering like most diets can be sometimes. We dread them. We avoid them. We're like, oh my God, I'm on this diet. All that's bullshit. This is such a flexible, adaptable, growing tool that you can always come back to regardless of what's going on in your life. Fasting is always going to be there, and it's something that your body knows biologically, evolutionarily speaking. Your bodies are designed to know, hey, we're eating now. Okay, now we're not eating. We're allowing your body to use the stored food for energy. And then when that's gone, your body knows, hey, if there's stored fat on there, if there's excess stored fat on there, your body's good. Let it do what it wants to do. And over time, this fasting lifestyle, it will change your life. It will change your life. Everything's going to change for you. I'm super excited for you. I'm giving you a big hug right now. If you're listening, I appreciate you listening with me today. And yeah, again, I apologize. I am still really new at this. So if it's a little sloppy choppy, just deal with it or offer some suggestions. I'm down either way. And yeah, I hope to see you guys again. And if you like this, maybe consider sharing with someone who may benefit from it. And I look forward to seeing you on my next episode. Bye, guys. The Fasting Focused Lifestyle, copyright 2021 by Vicki Sharon. The information given within this podcast is not intended or implied to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Please consult your doctor before starting any weight loss method. Thank you.